The new Alberta expression of interest point system gives 8 points for your family members in Alberta. So if you are a main applicant and if you have a family member in Alberta, you can get 8 points for that particular attribute. However, there is a deep confusion in some of the members or some of the people who are trying to approach this particular expression of interest system as to what is a family. In my initial videos, I thought I had explained very clearly and very carefully what counts as a family and when you can get those 8 points. But I think I need to do a very focused discussion on this particular topic to put things to rest. So let's look at the points grid in the new expression of interest system. So if you look into that and come down to the family section, okay, let's keep going down, and on I think page 3 is there, right? Yeah. So on page 3 there is a 8 points that can be awarded to you for having a family member who is living in Alberta, who is a Canadian citizen, and who is a permanent resident. So you can get up to 8 points for a family member who is living in Alberta and who is either a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. Okay, so these two attributes are required in your family member. So done. But like many of us, we have an extended family, so it kinds of get lost. What is a family? So as per the new point system, your family member must be your parent, okay, or your grandparent, or your child, or your grandchild. It could be a sibling, your aunt, uncle, niece, or nephew. Okay, so this is the only people or relationships in your family which counts towards this 8 points. So if you have an aunt living in Canada, in Alberta, and who is a permanent resident or a citizen, you can get up to 8 points. Obviously you will have to prove the relationship, but you can get up to 8 points. Okay, if you have a niece or nephew, you can get up to 8 points. Okay, please note here that cousins are not included, right? So if you have a cousin, cousins are not siblings. Siblings means your brother and sisters. So if you have siblings, your brother and sister, they can be included. Your aunt or uncle can be included, or your niece or nephew could be included. So if you have these relationships in Canada, you can claim. If you have these relationships in Alberta, you can claim up to 8 points. Cousins are not included, and the major point is your in-laws are also not included, which basically means that if your in-laws if you have in-laws in Alberta who are residents or citizens, you cannot still get those 8 points if you are the primary applicant. So it all is from the point of view of the primary applicant. If I am the primary applicant, it will check if I have parents in Alberta who are citizen or not citizens, either a parent, grandparent, child, sibling, aunt, uncle, niece, or nephew. This is the limited list. This list is not an exhaustive or an expanding list. As of now, this is the only relationships. These are the only relationships which are available for you to claim those 8 points. You might have a father-in-law living in Canada, in Alberta, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. That will not count. That will not give you 8 points if you are the primary applicant. Understand this, PNP application is always for the primary applicant. You can always add your wife, your spouse to the application, but that is at the PR application stage and not at the PNP stage. You will get PNP for your profile, your experience, your education, and everything. Okay, so all these points that are awarded are for your profile. So your work experience, your education, your English score, everything is for you, and you here means the primary applicant. So I hope I'm clear now in this particular discussion that as to who is a family member. Let me go back and just pause there for a second. If you want, you can pause the video now and read it very carefully. This is the only family connection which is allowed. Okay, so after this pause, I am done and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.